Welcome back. As you just heard live here a few moments ago, Project Lifeline, that is the newest initiative from the government to help those troubled homeowners. Marc Helm, Reverse Mortgage Solutions Chief Operating Officer, is joining us now from Houston, Texas. Also now, James Lebenthal, Jack Howe with us once again. So Marc, what do you think of this newest reach out to borrowers, and are they going to bite?
I'm real excited about it. Just a few years ago, when I worked for Washington Mutual, I managed all the default initiatives that they had there working with borrowers. It's all about information and education and analysis. We got to get the information out to the borrowers so they know what's available to them. It's about education. It's going to be done now on a national level. And last but not least, it's about the analysis so we can decide what kind of programs, albeit on a state or a federal level, can be available to these borrowers to help them maintain their homes.
But do you think communication is going to be enough? Because that seems to be a little bit of a problem over the last couple of months, is getting the word out to folks out there in America that need the help.
Well, it was the same. I came through the savings loan crisis in Texas in the mid-'80s. It takes a while for education. The most common dilemma we have in mortgage banking and dealing with customers is they're not aware of what is available to them. And how many times you can call a customer who's in trouble who really is embarrassed about the situation and doesn't even want to talk to you and does not realize that there's a possible solution out there. So if we can continue the massive barrage in the media of education and communication to the borrowers and flow that information so they know what's to be available, I believe there's going to be a positive outcome in the end.
Jack, you agree with that?
I like some of the things I'm hearing recently. I think there's a real different tone now than we've heard, maybe several weeks back. My inner capitalist gets real worried anytime people start talking about things that artificially inflate real estate prices, any kind of subsidies or things like that. And my inner socialist thinks that we ought to spend money anytime people are suffering to help them out. And somewhere in here is a plan that can keep both of those sides happy. We can help people with information and maybe a little mediation between them and their borrowers without creating another bubble or a worsening of a bubble in real estate prices.
Jim, who do you think this person is that we keep talking about? Is it somebody that's been speculating and flipping homes? Is it some 22-year-old that said, hey, no money down, I can actually buy a house? Who is the person that needs to be talked to here?
I think it's a primary homeowner. There are certainly a lot of people out there who were speculating that they could flip houses, and those people are so far in hock that there's nothing short of a housing rally that's going to save them, and that's not going to happen anytime soon. So really, the people who are going to come to the plate on this one are the people who are using this as their primary home. They're right on the edge of making payments, and they just can't figure out where their resources are, and now all of a sudden they have an incremental resource that will help them.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, when you look at this, so far the reaction or response to Hope Now, I was shocked by how low the numbers were on all of this. And Marc, I mean, were you surprised by how few people have responded to the old program that was announced in October?
Not at all. It's been a trend that's been in our industry for quite some time. You got to realize in many cases the borrowers on a lot of these loans that need the help now are borrowers that came in with little or no down payment, and now they're seeing these payments skyrocketing on them with the interest rate resets. And a lot of them don't really believe there's a resolution for this. And the issue we heard about in the securities market, that is a real issue. I believe that eventually common sense will prevail, but the reality is a lot of the securities written in this country do not give you the opportunity to modify the rates on the loans. Until common sense prevails on that and the rework of their securities is done, a lot of these loans are in kind of a no-win scenario. But I believe the numbers will grow as the information and education and communication goes to the borrowers and they see there are some alternatives. As we started in the savings loan crisis in the 80s, it was nearly a 3-year cycle to run through before the borrowers really realized there were options other than foreclosures that were out there.
I remember it well. Marc Helm, thank you in Houston. James Lebenthal and Jack Howe here in New York. Cheryl?
All right, a lot more, of course, to cover right here on Fox Business. We've got the markets continuing to trade higher, above 200 points for the day on that news from Warren Buffett out before the market opened. You are watching Fox Business.